All right, here we go. So here's another 15 minutes on Friday. I set the timer, gave me 30 extra seconds to kind of flub about. But yeah, so just came out the gym, did Zumba, and one of the Zumba ladies like, so when are you gonna teach the class? Well, she said, when are you gonna teach? I was thinking maybe she knows that I'm gonna be teaching English, because you know, ladies talk and all that. But she's like, when are you gonna teach the class? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna teach it in 2025. She's like, I will definitely be there. Maybe I could give her private lessons. Yeah, but yeah, it was fun. I mean, for me, it's like going to the club. I like music, I like dancing, and yeah, I just hate that it's in the gym, and every time I look around, there's people looking inside. My friend, he came one time, and he just popped up, and I looked, there he is with his camera taking a picture of me dancing. Maybe he took some video. But I usually double down, like, you know what? I'm a performer, so if I can't perform it here, how am I going to perform on stage when haters are going to be hating? But, all right, so Herbie Hancock was the guy I was talking about. Thank you. I always forget the guy. I just don't. So Miles Davis, it just rolls off the tongue, Miles. I used to play the trumpet in elementary. My nephew's name, Miles. Everyone knows Miles Davis, except for when I was playing trumpet. Anyway, but Herbie, I don't know any Herbies. I got a cousin named Herbie. I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, Herbie Hancock, he was a group of my friends, which is so weird. But one guy decided that everybody should read the book. So he bought the book for everybody. There was like 8 people, or he strung. Either way, everyone had a copy of the book. Except me. I was left out. And I'm the one who's be reading books. Like, can I put this right here? Yeah, there we go. So I don't know when I stumbled on it, but I stumbled on the book, and Herbie, Miles, Thelonious Monk, and then next in line would have been Duke Ellington. But I'm telling you, it's a 17-hour audiobook, and I was like, they're all really long, and I was just like, I'll take a break. But yeah. So first of all, the main thing I want to say, because this is the most important thing, and this only takes like a minute, and this is going to be a new thing, because I mean, to keep it within the story. So when Dilla died, his children had no money, because it was all kind of linked to his label, and his label was $700,000 in debt, or they owed to the IRS or whatever. So no one can get their money. The heirs couldn't get the money until that was paid, and then there was all this bickering amongst who's going to do what. And all that could have been like alleviated if he had a will, but he didn't want to do a will. It could have been alleviated if he had life insurance, but he didn't have it. Now, I'm not harping on him or whatever, but yesterday I was talking to my aunt, and you know, one of the things that I'm here having to kind of take care of is, in the event my father passes away, house thing, like, these are some adult shit that I have no idea about it, you know. And it's scary, but you know, it's better to be in front of it, you know what I mean? Before, because when, like, I had the experience when my mom died, now we're scrambling, does she have insurance, what's the number? And I'm calling, like, I found every number, every insurance paper I found laying around, I would call the number, and they're like, my mom just died, da-da-da. Like, sorry, only she can answer the questions, or we can only tell her the information. I'm like, my mom's dead. How? And he keeps repeating it, and I'm getting all like frustrated. I was level-headed in that scenario for whatever reason. And then the same thing happened with my dad. Is like, we're looking for insurances from companies that he retired from, and I'm calling numbers to businesses that have merged with, like, it is a hassle when it's happening. But if you were, so luckily my sister, was like, Mom, you got to get insurance and you got to do it now. And then my mom did. And then when she died, everything was just kind of set up. All we had to do was find the right insurance. And you know, at that point, I was like, damn, because if she didn't have insurance, I mean, probably my brother and sister would have to pay for all that. But she had insurance and it paid for the funeral and all that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. But it's one of those things where I can only speak for my people, my friends, my situation, because you might be a different type of person. But normally I don't remember. For me, I have never talked about this with anybody at any point. We might talk about, what are you going to do when you get a record deal? What car are you going to buy? Where are you going to... But no one has ever said, do you got life insurance? This almost sounds like a commercial. I was thinking at the time my mom died that maybe I should be like an agent because... But then it kind of... I don't like selling people shit. Even if it's in... even if I believe my music is great, I don't be like, buy my music. And even if I think that insurance is a great thing, which I'm going to spend most of this time talking about it, I don't want to be that person. But yesterday I was talking to my aunt and she was just saying like, you know, she was just saying that she was just talking about insurance. And she was just saying, because I always wondered, what do kids do? When we're adults, maybe your job will have insurance. Of course, Japan doesn't. That's where I spent most of my adult life there, or 15 years. So I was like, what do kids do? And she was telling me that she took out life insurance for her kids. And again, she was like saying the price is like $25 for this and $10 for him. She has 3 kids. And I'm just thinking, okay, that's Netflix. That's 1 month subscription of Netflix. That's, if you're a person who gets shaped up every month, that's one payment. Or iTunes, or like, it's not like, so I'm thinking it's not like I couldn't in the past get life insurance. Because I always had, you know, and it's not like, maybe you do sit there and you watch $14 worth of Netflix. Like you just binge everything 30 days. But I'm speaking for myself. Like I just, what do you call it? Disney just did the $1.99 month thing. So I'm going to watch Thor, which I'm watching now. I'm probably going to watch She-Hulk and everything Marvel related. But after that, I'm not really going to use the account because personally, I don't like sitting around doing nothing and just watching. So I just want to be in the Marvel Cinematic. But paying $50, now I don't know. Like I just went to the bank to go talk about it. Because I don't want to be that person. Like, do you got insurance? No. So this is kind of premature. But as soon as I make the little appointment. But oh, we had 8 minutes. Sheesh. But so this is all I want to say about that. When you die, and I know this is not a fun conversation, and you know we're gonna live to be 199. But when you die, the people who survive you, they got to take care of all this shit. And maybe you got rich uncles, cousins, and all that. Whatever, people who will take up the bill, but more likely than not, it's just gonna suck. And I don't want it. I don't want to leave suck when I die. I just want shit to be taken care of. Like, boom, call that number, and they're gonna pay for all that stuff. Basically, it might increase, but funeral service costs are like almost $6,000, $7,000, give or take. And if you pay your little $15, because now I don't care for insurance. I'm not a big fan of all that shit. But we're all going to die. Like that's one thing that is inevitable. And at that point, someone has to pay for it. Now you're dead. Maybe your job. Now this is really speaking towards artists. We don't, because if you look at our hip hop elders, the way they're dying off, like the cancer, and then it's like they're making GoFundMe accounts. Because other jobs, like if you work at the bank, your 401k might have life insurance. You work in the military, it's kind of built in. But if you're like a rapper, it's not really built into that producer. You have money and you might get your diamond watches and all that shit, but yeah. So it's like, so what I'm going to do from this point moving forward, because it's one of those things where it's like, well, they never told us this growing up, which is true. I've never heard, like I heard, so what are you going to do with your life? What's your 5-year plan? And I heard this, which is a stupid question. How the fuck do I know what I'm going to do in five years from now? I didn't plan to be in Japan for 15 years. I don't know what I'm going to do in 3 years. I don't know, which is fine. But everyone knows they're going to die. That if you put it that way, what are your friends and family going to do when you're dead? Now it kind of puts the, they're going to make a GoFundMe and they're going to pay for the cost. Like, and this is me talking to me, but you know, like if I would have died in Japan, somebody would have had to pay the money to get my body and because the companies I work for are all shit. Not all shit, but it was never in the contract. So it would have been like it just would have been a big mess. And life insurance, I believe, I'm going to ask all these questions, but it's global. So wherever you die, the money can be to get you on a plane and to get burials and all that shit. And then the will, which, I mean, the life insurance, you know, $15 a month or whatever, 25. And it gets the more, anyway. But the will, I think that's like $500, which is kind of expensive. But you could do like an unofficial will. And then back to Dilla, since he didn't have a will, it's just like, everyone thought that they were in charge of his music. And it was just a big mess. And you see this within our little industry. And it's just, if you heard this message, if you watch this video, you can't say, I didn't know, because now you're hearing, yeah, the teachers failed us because they don't talk about this. And our parents maybe didn't want to bring up such a sour thing. And I don't, unless there's like a death or someone has cancer, it's not really, hey, let's talk about this. And it's not even, like it's basically, you know how, again, I use the Netflix. Some months you might be really busy and you don't even use the Netflix or iTunes. Like I've been like that. If I'm not walking or whatever, if I'm listening to audiobooks, every month that $10 comes out of my account and goes to iTunes, even if I don't use it, which was their plan. Because back in the day, record sales, the physical copy, they were charging like $8 billion and everyone got fat off of it. And then some guy was like, yo, if we do like subscriptions, people don't even, they're going to pay $120 a year versus buying you know, anyway, another book, another topic, because we only got 2 more minutes. But I feel passionate about, there's a whole bunch of shit we don't know. Like I can't really speak on credit cards because my credit is fucked up. But so I cannot be one of those people that will tell you shit that they don't do. There's so many of those people. They be like, and you look at their situations like, then why aren't you doing it? I can't be that person. But for the insurance, as soon as I make the call and as soon as I do all that, every video is going to start with or end with, you got insurance, you got life insurance. It might even be profitable in the sense that I could be that guy, the agent. I don't know. But it's not, you don't need me to do it. Just Google that shit. If you have a bank account, they usually have one. And they might, but it's serious. It's so serious that you hear it. I'm sitting here making a video about that because after my mom passed away, my friend's dad passed away, right? And then his daughter, my friend's sister, the little sister who's now a woman, she threw up the GoFundMe. Oh, it's happened so suddenly. And I had no money, but you know why people throw up the GoFundMes, because that situation, well, some people are scammers, but all I had was $5. That's all I could contribute to that. And that's what I did. But realistically, I'm 41. Most of my friends are in their 40s too, and we're going to start dropping off as we get older, and it's going to end up on the kids. Or so my last 30 seconds, if you don't have insurance, look into it, because, or just think really deeply, who's going to cover the cost of your burial? Because, you know, and then, you know, if you have kids, if they they're going to have to pull together money, and because life insurance will leave them little nest eggs. And I mean, speaking for me, there's no nest eggs in my nest eggs in my family, right? So people die, and then it's just, okay, now you got to pay for the funeral. It's like the negative nest egg. But if you had a little bit of insurance, that means when you pass away, that